Is my screen visible? Yeah, let's begin today's session. So in today's session, let's talk about some important logics in an application. Now, these are very important logics. The first one is presentation logic. So presentation logic, which is talk about the presentation of the application, like how the user interface should be designed. That is focusing for the presentation logic. Now, this logic mainly focusing on the how well we can able to prepare the user interface. Such logic is technically called presentation logic, which is also known as user interface. And the technology which you can use for developing presentation logic is you can use UI technologies. That means user interface technologies. Suppose if you want to develop the standalone user interface in Java, we have to use some technologies like AWT, Swing, JavaFX. These are used to create the graphical user interface using Java. But if you want to create the web user interface, then we can go for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Angular, or React.js, okay, which can be used. Now, these are actually will focus on the only presentation. Now, the next one is business logic. The business logic itself is just talk about the, you can separate the any calculation related, okay, any business logic if you want to define. Such logic is come under service logic or business logic. And to develop the business logic, you can use Java SE in the case of Java technologies. You can use C#, Python. These are actually come under business technologies. Okay, we can use these technologies for developing business logic or service logic. And the next one is persistent logic. The persistent logic which we talk about now, as I said already, let's understand these terms. The permanent storage unit that can be used to store the information, the data, is called a persistent store. I introduced this point already in the introduction to the databases. Now, as we know, we can use the files and database servers as a persistent stores. Now, these are actually used to perform the CRUD operations. We can use the CRUD operations, and these CRUD operations which are related to persistent logic. That means the logic which you can use to develop the any connecting with any database, insert operation, delete operation, update, okay? Such operations, such logic, which is come under persistent logic. And the technology which you can use for developing persistent logic is you can use Jdbc, ORM-based frameworks like Hibernate, JPA, Toplink. These are the ORM-based technologies for developing persistent logic. And this persistent logic can be used as a helper class in other logics. It may be, you can use the persistent logic as a helper class in service logic or business logic. Okay, that could be used. Simple. So if you look at simple use case here, let's understand here. Suppose reading six subject marks from end user, which come under presentation logic. And calculating the total, average, min, max, it comes under business logic or service logic. And storing student details, storing information or persisting the information into the database, that come under persistence logic. And again, if you want to read the data and you want to display that, displaying the information, that is come under presentation logic. That means you need to understand which logic come under which type of business logic. Okay, which type of logic you have to understand that. And next, I'm going to introduce one more important term, DAO class, data access object. So especially, as we know, when working with any enterprise applications, you will have a number of classes are present in the application. So here, we can use this DAO class, that is the data access object class, especially you want to separate the a persistent logic. You want to separate the persistent logic from other logics, then that is technically called DAO. So with the help of DAO classes, we can clearly separate persistent logic from other logics. Okay, because in the future, if you want to change any database, then you just need to change the only DAO classes. You don't require to change any other, because we are just making the application loosely coupled. Because when the application is loosely coupled, so when you do any changes in the application, it won't disturb the other logics. Okay, so then it will be easy to maintain and easy to support the any updates. So this type of this using a DAO classes is recommended for when you want to build application as medium or large scale applications, then you can go with this approach. But if you want to take a simple application, then you can keep everything in a single application. But when you want to work with complex or large applications, then we have to clearly separate the logics. This is one thing you have to ensure. Okay, is it clear? Are you with me, everybody? Please confirm. Are you clear? Yes, can you please confirm? Are you there? Others? No. So now we are going to develop one application. We are going to build one simple mini project using these different logics. The mini project is contact management application. So we are going to build this contact management application where we are going to use the DO classes and DTO classes and separating the connection logic from presentation logic. Okay, we are going to use this standard enterprise level application approach. Okay, now let's develop step-by-step process how to get that. So now first requirement is, so we want to build this contact. So for that requirement, I want to create one table. I want to create one table. Now let's create the one table. Now I have opened the MySQL workbench and I'm going to create one table. You can create anywhere in any DB if you want. Now I'm going to take a separate DB, separate DB I'm going to create for this purpose. Let's say I'm creating one DB, create new schema. My contact DB. I'm creating one new DB as my contact DB. Finish it out. And inside the my contact DB, inside this my contact DB, inside these tables, I'm going to create one table. Table name is contact. You can use contact details. And column name, I'll use ID and PK, primary key, not null. And I want auto increment this field. You want auto increment this field? You can take it as an AI. Just enable this AI for auto increment. Or you can use the manual, you can even specify. Let's say name. Name varchar. Next. Email varchar. Next. Mobile. So mobile number is, let's take it as a big integer. Okay. Now I want to create this contact details table with these 4 fields: ID, name, email, mobile. And click on apply. Apply. Finish. Now, okay, now I'm okay with this contact. Okay. Now let me create one contact. Even anyway, I want to create this table with, I want to create this insert with this application. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, now first thing what I have done, I just created one new DB as my contact DB. So inside this DB, I have created one table, contact details, contact underscore details. So inside that, we don't have any records, just table structure we have created. Okay. So now next, go to the Eclipse. So in Eclipse, I'm going to create one new project. I'm going to create new project, new Java project. So my project name is contact app. Contact app. And create next. So here, at the time of creating the project itself, you can have the dependencies. You can add the dependencies at the time of creating the project itself. Now, I'm adding the dependency. Just here, select the libraries and select the class path. We require the MySQL connector jar file. Class path. And select these external jars. Add external jars. Then browse to the MySQL connector jar where you have saved in your machine. Get it. select that and finish. Now we are ready with contact app project. Now under the reference libraries, you'll find the MySQL connected jar file. And under the SRC, you need to create the corresponding form. So now I'm going to create one new, first one class. I want to create one model class, which I want to specify the contact details. So what I'm going to do, let's create one new class. Class name is contact. So I want to keep this, class. This is contact class. I want to keep it in package com dot Harini tech dot contact app. Com dot honey tech dot contact app. Okay, I want to maintain some package, and I want to keep this one even in a sub package called model. Okay, contact app under that model. Just change this and click on this move contact app to this particular package. Okay, I want to use this package name. Okay, so now inside that, now I'm going to have the contact properties. Let's have the contact properties. Private. I'm going to take integer. You can use a wrapper class. You can use a normal primitive data types. You can take the range. Integer plus ID. String name. Email. Long mobile. Long mobile. Okay. Now this is ID, name, email, mobile. Okay, then I'm going to have constructor. Let's have a constructor source. Generate constructor. Now I want a constructor. Let's say all argument constructor. If you want, you can take all argument constructor. This is all argument constructor. All parameters constructor is available one. And I want to take one zero argument constructor also. Generate zero argument constructor. One zero argument constructor, one all argument constructor I have. Then along with, I'm going to have getters and setters. Generate the getters and setter methods for all these properties. And next, I'm trying to override toString method. ToString method. When I want to print the object, I'll get that information about that. Okay. Now this is the contact. Now technically, this is actually come under. It's a POJO. Technically, we call it as a POJO class. POJO class means plain old Java object. It is a plain old Java object. And it is also called DTO. Data transfer object. Okay. Like that, these are some names for this class, technical names. Okay, any class which contain the private properties and just having the getters, setters, and constructor, such class is said to be POJO or DTO. And we can use this class to share the properties. To send the properties as a single unit, we can able to use. That is the meaning of this. Okay, now, okay, we are okay with this. Next, I want to take now I'm going to create one database utility class, especially I want to keep some connection properties. I want to separate the connection properties from the project. Okay, which you can able to get it here. So for that requirement, I'm trying to create a new class that is DB utils, database utility class, and I want to keep this under util form dot anitech dot contact app dot util database utils. So in this one, I'm going to create, in this one, what I want to do, I want to create one method to get the connection object, where I want to use that connection across the application. So my connection object is, let me take one method, one static method, public static connection. Okay. Import this connection from java.sql package. And method is get connection. And okay, we need to return this connection object. So I need to get this connection object. So for that requirement, I require the properties. So in the last project, let me take the Jdbc app. Okay, I want to reuse these properties. Okay. I want to use these properties here. Now get connection method inside that. Now we require these properties. Now I want to connect with which database we have just now we have created. My underscore contact underscore DB. Okay, that you can specify. My underscore contact underscore DB. And now then I want to get this subject. Let's get that loading the driver is optional. It's not mandatory. Loading driver is not mandatory, it's optional. If you want, you can load it. Class dot per name. Pass the driver details. So I'm trying to handle that exception instead of bypassing. Surround with the try and catch. Now this is for the driver. Next, I want to get the connection object. Connection equal to driver manager dot get connection by passing URL, username, and password. Okay, we are getting this. And handle the SQL exception. Okay, now get this. Now it return the connection object file. So we will get that connection object. So we are just separating the connection details from other logics. Okay, especially in the future, if you want to work with if you want to change any database name or username or password, you need to just change this. You need to update this DB util file without disturbing other files. That is the advantage. That's why I'm just separating the database utils. Is it clear? Are you following everybody? Now, so far I have created the two things. contact Java file and database util file. Okay, next I'm going to have I'm going to take one interface with what are the functionality which I want to do. Okay, let me take one interface. My interface name, I want to keep it in DAO. And interface name is contact DAO. Contact DAO is the interface. So in this contact DAO, I'm going to have some methods. Okay, now let's say I want to add one method, add contact. So it will take contact as argument and return the integer. Now after adding the contact, return the integer value. Based on that, you can able to get the subprint. So I want to get all contacts. So I want to list all the list of contacts I've written. Get all contacts method. So it return the all contacts. So I want to get one particular contact. Then you can return the contact object. Get contact by name. By name I want it. You can define whatever methods you want. And if you want to update, you can use update. You can return that. Update contact. Update contact. Delete contact. I will delete the contact by name. Next. Delete all contacts. If you want to delete all contacts, you can whatever the methods if you want. Okay, you can just have all the methods. Okay, let's say we have added these 6 methods I've added. Now this is an interface. Okay, now my contact application should provide support for all these. Let me keep this 5. All these 5 operations should be supported. That's my requirement. I'm able to add a contact. I'm able to display all contacts. I'm able to search a contact by name. I'm able to update the contact, delete the contact. Okay, these are things I should able to get here. Okay, now let's implement this interface. Okay, so right click on this. Let's take an implementation class. Contact DAO IMPL. Contact DAO implementation. So this is actually we are implementing that interface. Contact DAO. And then try to add unimplemented methods because we are trying to implement the interface. So by default, it will just implement it empty. Okay, like this will be implemented. Okay. So now let's implement the one by one method. Now let's implement the first method is add contact function. Okay, to now get the add contact, I require to create the get the connection object. So I get the connection object, connection con equal to db util. db utils dot get connection method. So when I call this get connection method, so you'll get that connection object, we'll get it. So after getting the connection object, then we can able to process it. Now let's call on that connection object, prepare statement. So prepare statement, I want to process the query. Let's get it the query. Insert query. Insert into table name is contact values. So I want to add the values here. Name, email ID, mobile number. ID should be auto incremented here. It will auto increment it. No need to enter manually because we enable the auto increment for this project. Now let me. So for that requirement, you need to specify the list of fields here. Insert into contact field names like name, email, comma, mobile. Then assign the values. Let's add 3 question marks. 3 question marks, 3 placeholders and this person. So that is a query. I'm just specifying here. Okay, we want to insert query. So this insert query, we have to handle the SQL exception. Let's surround with language. And now get this prepared statement. Prepared statement, PS. So on that, you have to assign the values for this. Now I'm assigning PS dot set set the string. Okay, parameter index 1. Assign the name. So how to assign the name for this parameter? So on this contact object, you can get that name. For that requirement, you can get like this. So C dot get name. Get name. Next is dot set string. Next get email. Set long. Get mobile. Okay, now I got this. Okay, we are assigning that personal parameters to this 3 placeholders. Okay, then after that we need to now which query I need to process for insert operation. We can call execute update method. Now execute update method return that integer value. So let's get that integer value here. Integer status. Okay, I want the status. I want to return it back. You can declare one top status. Okay, return this status, assign the status, and return that status variable back. So after performing this operation, you return the status. If status is 1, then it is successfully inserted. That is the meaning of that. Okay, now this add contact method is we have done. And before just testing this method, I want to take one more. I want to display all contacts also. These are 2 functions I want to just implement first. Let's implement this one also. Now this queries select query. Select star from contact. Select star from contact. Now get that connection object. Derivatives dot get connection method. So on that we can call replace statement. Replace statement. Now handle that SQL exception here. And SQL exception. Then after that we can call so execute. So execute query method. So this execute query method return type is result set, as you know. So we are storing that result here. Then we are taking one loop here to just iterate that one by one. The next record is available. If next record available, you can enter it. So you can do one thing here. Here, if next record, the version next record is available, then I want to return that all as a list. I want to return a list type. So I want to do one. We can create list of contact type. List of contact. Contacts, new, array list. Okay, we have this object. This is a list of contacts. So assign the create one contact object and assign to this. Add to that. So I'm creating contact. Contact. Say equal new contact. Okay, now I'm calling C dot. Set ID. Set the contact ID. How to get that ID here? How to get the ID? From the result set, you can able to get it. From the result set, you can able to get it, right? Like you can call result set dot next integer method to get that corresponding property. Okay, corresponding cell, which you can able to get it. Something else. Get integer of 0 or 0, 1. Set name. Get string. Set email. Set mobile or it's dot. Get long. Get long of 4. Okay, 4 fields. I'm just assigning that here. Then after that, so we are just getting. Now we need to add these things. We need to add this to the contact list here. So on the contact dot add method, adding that to the list. So until the records are available, we'll get one by one record, and we're adding one by one contact. Adding one by one contact to this contact list. Okay. So finally, this contact returned. We have written these contacts. Return the contact. Now let's return that contacts. Okay, now these are the two methods I have implemented. Now let's test these methods. After that, we'll implement the other methods. Now, are you following everybody? Please confirm. Are you getting this implementation? Can you please confirm? Okay. Now then this is technically called DAO, our DAO implementation class. Okay. Now let's take the let's take the main class which I want to just implement it. You want to call that. Now I'm going to take one main class here. I want to keep it in main. Or you can take one more class. I'm going to take it as a service. It's a service package. Now I'm going to take contact service. So this is our service class. Now service class is just like DAO, but just we want to call that DAO methods in the service. So it gives us an interface. Now let me take interface, contact, interface. So just add these methods. Just add these all the methods in this contact service. The contact service will take one more implementation class. Contact service IMPL. Now, which implements contact service. Just implement this methods. That's it. Okay. Now here you can call. Now I want to call that. DAO. Here I want to implement it. Okay. Simply in order to get that will work here. So what I will do here. Let's do one. Now I'm creating the let's create the object for contact DAO. DAO. And contact service IMPF. So create the object for this. Contact DAO equal to new contact DAO. Contact DAO. Contact DAO implementation. Okay, this is actually when I create the object, this construct will be called and we create the object. Then we can call this simply you can call the methods. Let's say DAO dot add contact. Okay, add contact method we're trying to call it. And here DAO get all contacts. DAO dot get all contacts. Okay, and here if you want to call DAO dot get contact by name. Okay, just we're calling these members. DAO dot update contact. DAO dot delete contact by name. Okay, we are calling that DAO implementation methods. Simply. Okay. Now we are actually making the application loosely coupled. Okay. Without disturbing other logic, we are clearly separating the logics. Okay. Finally, I want to use this contact service to test the main operations. Okay. That I'll use the presentation logic. So in the presentation logic, I am going to create one menu base user character user interface menu base I want to create, which I want to check these operations. So now let's have one more class. This is the main. I'll take UI. Now here I'll take contact app. So in this contact app, I'm going to have that main. Let's have the main method. So now I'm going to create a menu for all these options. Let's create a menu. Now I'm going to have a scanner object. New scan system dot and so I'm going to take a loop, a while loop, infinite loop. We'll just condition we can terminate it. While loop. Let's have the operations like I'll take welcome to contact application. So now I'm going to have some operations I'm going to maintain. Let's add new contact. These are the menu options I'm going to provide. View all contacts. View all contacts. Search contact by name. Update contact. Update contact details. Delete contact. Delete the contact details. Okay, now these are the 4 options I want to provide. 5 options, but let me take one option to exit. Exit, 0 for exit. And after that, please choose any option. Now for that requirement, I'll take one variable option and dot next integer. So next integer, you'll take it. Let me do one thing. This is next integer variable. We are reading that. Then after that, I'm going to have one switch case. Okay, I'm going to take one switch case to handle this. Let's take one switch. Take one switch. Now, if option switch is option equal to 1, option equal to 1 for add. 1 for add function, right? I'll get some message. 1 for add new contact. Option 2. View contacts. Option 3. Such contact. Option 4. Update contact. Option 5. Delete contact. And last, if there is no other contact, you can have one more. 0. 0 for exit, right? If enter with 0, you exit. If option is 0, then you can call directly. Bye-bye. Just terminate them by calling system dot exit method. The exit of 0. Exit of 0 will refer normal termination. Okay, exit. And if I enter any other than these values, just print a message. Please enter. Correct option. Please choose. Please choose correct option. Okay, I'll just use this. Now, this is how we can just display the menu. Now let's check out whether it is working. Menu is displaying or not. We'll check it. After that, we'll just call that. Now option 1, add new contact. Yeah. Then next menu display. Next. Option 2. 2 for view contacts. Option 3, search contact. Option 4, update contact. Option 5, delete contact. Option 6, invalid. We choose correct option. Option 0, terminate. Yeah, menu is working. Menu is working fine without giving any problem. Okay. Then after the menu is working fine, then you can able to call the corresponding, this is the method. Add contact method and get all contacts method I want to call. Now let's call the add contact method. Okay, let's implement it. So for that requirement, what we need to do here, we need to give the prompt. We need to create the object for. Let's create the object for. Let's create the object contact service. Service, new contact, service implementation. So on that you can call the method add contact. So we need to specify a contact object here. For that requirement, I need to create the contact object. So need to read the variables, right? Now I'm going to take, I'm going to read the properties. Let's say name. I want to read these properties. You can have these variables at the top. Name, email, or you can take directly. If you want, you can take directly. Otherwise, let me take. I'm prompting from please enter contact name. So contact name prompt and add that contact equal to end of next method. Okay, reading the name. Next. Please enter contact email. Next method email. Please enter contact mobile. Next long method to read the mobile. Okay, now we are reading that properties and then create this contact object. Contact new contact. New contact. Assign the properties. New contact dot set employee name. Set email ID. Set mobile. Contact. Okay, create this and specify this contact. New contact, you can keep it. Okay, now this contact method return integer. So you can put a condition. If let's took that into the int status. If status is greater than status greater than equal to 1, then new contact is added. Yes, and a message. Something is went. Something went wrong. Okay, display. This is for the adding contact. Now let's check this functionality whether it's working or not. Now the first functionality adding a contact. Now let me run this. Now enter the option 1. Please enter contact name. Okay, contact name I'll enter Raj. Email ID Raj @gmail. Mobile number. Now I got error. Syntax error. Creating SQL exception. It is saying my contact DB contact doesn't exist. Table is not exist. My contact DB. What is the DB name you have specified? So let's check out. My contact underscore DB. My underscore DB. Inside that table name is contact details. Yeah. Table name is contact details, not contact. That's why it is showing error. Let me do that. Now go to the DB utils and go to the contact DAO. Table name is insert into contact underscore details. This is the table. Okay. Details. Yeah, let me run once. Option 1, enter contact name. Raj at the rate gmail.com. Now I got a message, new contact added successfully, and go and check in the database. Let me check in the contact details tab. Yes. Now see here, we have successfully added the contact. Successfully, I'm able to add the new contact. Okay, the add functionality is working. The add contact function is working fine. Okay, simple. So how the application is working here, let me just explain before implementing other functionalities. See here what we have done. We actually so if you look at the application flow, now we have the database server. Okay, we are with database. So to connect with the database, what we have done here from the inside our application, we have written so many logics. Now let me show you what we have done. So in between, this is the Java or 19. This is our main contact. Contact app. So contact app that is communicating with contact service. Contact service will communicating with contact DM. Okay, these are the middle we are just providing here. contact app, contact service, and contact DO. Okay, now these are the things actually we have used in that. Now we have used these three layers. Layer 1, layer 2, layer. Contact app. And this is contact service. And this is contact DO. So now these are three layers we have taken. Now this layer is connecting lines. So from contact app, we are connecting with contact service. Now contact service, we are connecting with contact DO. Now contact DO is connecting with the database. And the response will back from database, you'll get the response back to the contact DO. Now again, it is back to the contact service. Then after that, contact. This is how the communication happens. So instead of keeping everything, instead of keeping complete logic in single file or single location, we are dividing the complete application into multiple layers. Okay. That is how the Java applications, especially at enterprise level, will be divided like this. Okay. Are you clear, everybody? This architecture is confirmed. Okay, it is at high level. We have just implemented our mini project. Okay, now that's it. Now let me do that another one service I want to implement here. Now we are able to successfully add it. Now let me display the details here. For that requirement, let me do exit the project. Now let me have this view context. This is for the implementing the display in all contexts. For that requirement, let's do that. So we have the service. Service dot get all contexts, which return list of contact objects. Contacts. Okay, is a contacts list. So I'm trying to use for each loop to get one by one contact. Get each contact from these contacts. And I'm trying to print this contact object because we have already a toString method. The toString method will get one by one will get it. Okay. Now let me run it. I want to view context means option 2. Yeah. Now I'm able to get that. See, contact is the one contact we have added. Now I'm able to get that. Okay, let me add one more contact. Option 1 to add one more contact. Raju @gmail.com. Mobile number. New contact added, and let's display that contacts. Option 2. Yeah. Now we are able to display the 2 contacts. Simple. Okay, clear? This is the second function. So just like this, you can implement the other functionals also. Now I'm giving the task for you. Try the other functionalities. Now I have implemented only two functionals. One is add contact functionality and get all contacts. Now I'm giving the time for you. Try to implement these three functionals. Get contact by name functionality, update contact and delete contact. Okay, try to implement these three functionals and try to test this one. After that, you need to have this, try to just use appropriate code to get it work. Then after that, try to implement these functions. Okay, this I'm giving for you. And let's see how you're able to just think and how you're able to solve this. Okay, anyway, if you're not able to do it, no problem. But at least you can try it. Okay, anyway, I'll discuss this one in the next session. Okay, chalo, we'll catch up in the next session. Keep coding, keep doing practice. Bye. Take care.